Page 24, Sonatina. This is the first movement. The second movement is the next video on the next pages or so. It's a very famous piece by Beethoven. I'd like to talk, I'm assuming by the time you get to this level you can read the notes and the rhythms. You don't need me to spoon feed this to you like I typically do. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I want to point out a few things in the music as I understand them. Not everyone agrees on how this should be played. So I'm giving you my perspective. Other people can give you their perspective. If you disagree with me, that's great. I don't want to hear it, but that's great. You just go right ahead. Common time in 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. Make sure you can play the scale in G major. You should be able to do it 2 octaves up and down by the time you get to this level. So first, right hand. I'm going to leave out the grace notes right now. All these little notes. I just want to make sure I got the fingering right. So it's 1 and 2 and. I'm going to connect everything. And then it's 5, 2, 3, 1, 2. I like that fingering. You can do 3, 1, 3, 1 if you want to, but a 3, 1, 2, 1 is fine. 1, 2, 3. Reach up. 4. I like that fingering. Measure 6. It's a 4-1. Play it with the 4th finger and then put the thumb on it. We substitute it. And do it immediately. After you play it, and do it immediately. And then go on. Don't forget the F sharp. Cross. 3rd finger. I like this fingering so far. Measure 9 here. 1 and 2 and. Thumb. That way you're in position for that. Thumb. That's fine. Again. It's like a sequence going up, isn't it? Now we've got a sequence going down. We're going to finger each of these patterns the same. 2. The last one needs to be with 3 though, because we got a measure 15. You got to come down here. Let's go over to measure 25. You start 3rd finger, and then a 2, and then a 2, 4. So take the notes and measure 26 and 27 together. It's this. It's a G chord in extended position, 2nd version. That's the fingering for it. 4th finger. I like that 4th finger. A lot of people will try and use 3rd finger. I don't recommend it. 4th finger. If you want to use different fingers on measure 27, it would be like a 4. I typically do that out of habit because I'll use different fingers. The idea is by doing this 4th finger, I'm pushing myself a little bit because I have to think about this. Oh, it's a different finger. I got to make sure I hit the right key on a different finger. It's just like, are you accurate? By pushing myself in that sense, when I get nervous and I'm performing for people, it actually helps to make sure I play it correctly. By pushing myself here, make it a little harder here, it makes it a little easier in the performance, or a little more secure in the performance. Because I'm thinking about that, I'm going to do it. Where otherwise I might get nervous and I might not even play one of the notes. It may not go down. I get nervous. Left hand at the beginning, you're here to connect them. Then come down here. Try and connect the top note. I can't connect that, but I can get off of it. It's good practice. Measure 5, the Alberti bass. Beethoven used a lot of Alberti bass. It's an F natural. I do a 5, 2 here. Don't see a lot going on in the left hand. There's a lot of broken chords. Put the hands together slowly. I'm going to go ahead and do the articulation too. Let's just shorten the video up a little bit. This will take forever. And add the grace notes. Now in the left hand at the beginning I'm going to connect it. And the right hand I'm going to lift up. Write that little grace note. It's a real quick little note. And people don't agree on how to be interpreted. I'm not going to tell you one way is right or wrong. I'll leave that to plenty of other people who are so sure they're right. Some people play it before the beat, so they'll play it So the left hand, the A comes with it. Other people, like me, will play it on the beat, so this comes with it. Either way, it's a short note. You play it however you think is right or however your teacher tells you to do it. So whatever. That's how I'm going to do the grace notes. I'm going to do in this piece. I'm going to do them on the beat. Lift up the right hand. 2 note slurs, down, up. Now these notes, play them all connected. So the right hand. Don't play the second note real short staccato. Guess you could, but I don't recommend it. You just let up on. Going on, measure 9, you're here, lift up. Make sure you lift up in the right hand, but keep the left hand connected. You're here, both hands come up. So you get the idea, I hope, on these measure 25. We're going to play this more or less legato all the way through as best we can here. Now the pattern in the left hand changed here. See, if I use different fingers, I can actually do a better job of connecting these repeated notes. Then the same finger, it's hard to do with one finger. So just connect them, nice and legato. Add the dynamics, that's for the right hand. Whatever you think soft is. You're staying in that general area, the soft, until measure, 7 or so. You have a swell coming up in measure 6. Come up to here, and then come back down. So work on, the left hand just stays in the background. Now when you get to measure 9, you're moderately loud here in the right hand. The left hand is still soft. And you're staying in the general area of moderately loud. You can get a little louder and softer, but stay in that area until measure 16. When you start coming down here, tend to want to slow down a little bit there, even though there's nothing marked. That's back to interpreting pieces. A lot of times people will put a slight retard in where it's not marked as part of their interpretation of a piece. You don't need to, you can keep going. And then when you get to measure 25, we're moderately loud again in the right hand. Measure 29, now you're soft. It's like an echo of it. At the end, you're moderately loud in the right hand. The left hand is about moderately soft. That's my impression of it. Moderato is somewhere in the middle, and it's the overall feel of it. It's not fast, it's not slow, it's just kind of there. About, I think, where I've been playing it. Something like that. need to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do a play with me on here because I've done it throughout this book. But you don't. When you get to this level, you don't need to play with me. But let's go ahead and play it together very slowly just to make sure you got the notes pretty good. You want to do it one hand at a time, that's fine. I'm not going to do any dynamics, but I will do the repeat. And the fermata at the end, that whole note, I'm just going to double it and hold it for 8 counts instead of 4. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just try it together slowly. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 1 and 2 and. And 2 and. Rest. Repeat.